Welcome, cosmic family of the light. We've just moved through an incredible New World portal on the 17th of October, where we've had this super sensitive full moon that has cleansed and purged and exposed any masks that we may have been wearing, any illusions that we were carrying have been shattered and broken to the ground. Ways that we have perhaps gaslit ourselves or fooled ourselves into seeing reality a certain way was obliterated with this recent moon energy and portal that we have moved through. And I really feel like we are now fully stepped into this new world, but understanding that the world is not something outside happening to us. Reality is not happening to us, but that we are indeed deciding now what and how we show up in our reality as our reality. So literally, we have stepped into the frequency of being leaders in our reality now. So any mask of diminishment, of feeling small, of being afraid of that leadership has had to go. And if you weren't willing, if you were afraid to drop that mask of the inferior ego, the small 3D self, you may have found recently that your circumstances ripped it off for you. That's what this eclipse shadow has done for us, truly on our own behalf, on our own expansion, because the recent frequencies and energies have been speaking to me about how we have dragged our feet, or how we have been unwilling to recognize a soulful, honest, brutal truth within ourselves. And so this cleaning up, this purge, has been about the universe stepping in very much on our behalf, to our benefit, to allow fate and destiny to take the driving wheel and to take the turn or take the route that we've been afraid to take. So anyway, you were afraid to do the right thing, get on the right path, sign up for yourself in a really big way and make that self-commitment to yourself or to others, but you were dilly-dallying around that. Your angels, the universe, which by the way, your angels, the universe, your soul tribe, everything around you is you. It's a mirror reflection of you. It's you, as Neville Goddard would say. It's everything outside of you is you pushed out. So you've had to face up to the destined turn of events. I would bet my bottom dollar that in the last week or few days, you have had something significant happen that has got your attention 100% and brought you directly into the present moment, so that there was just nowhere for you to run or hide. You had to sit in the presence of that truth, albeit hard to hear or a hard medicine to swallow, but this has been our medicine. This has been our tower moment, or Archangel Michael coming with his big beautiful sword of light or crystal of light to cut through the illusions, the lies, the secrets. Now, if you haven't watched my previous video, Mid-October Energy, I talked at length about this moon coming up in advance, talking about how it was going to shatter myths that we have either created ourselves, and truly, if everything is us outside reflected back, it always comes back to us, right? It always comes back to you. So there's been a massive upgrade of responsibility, of accountability, and of secrets being revealed, truths being brought to light, and very deep, heart to heart, brutally honest conversations being had that have been pending for some time for some of us. Okay, and those of you who are members of the light here, members of my channel, I revealed a very, very personal breakdown video on that moon day of what I was going through and how you can use me as an example, as a personification of the themes and the suggestions of how to navigate this current landscape. So the truth is, and I only found this out this morning in my meditation with the Nameless Ones, the angel collective that I channel, many of us actually, even though we had a physical birth many years ago, we hadn't fully landed, we hadn't fully arrived in our physical bodies. And it's like half of us came in and felt very scared and vulnerable and insecure, perhaps in the first 20, 30 years of our lives. And now there is this new courage, this new sense of strength, of confidence coming in, of, dare I say, trust in ourselves, which again, placing your trust in other things outside of you is putting the cart before the horse. Always bring it back to you. Always bring it back into you. How am I experiencing this? Why is this being realized and showing up in my life? What's in me that's a match to this experience, right? When we do that self-inquiry, we can truly get to the core of our wounds, our traumas, and our blocks. And again, I say blocks in inverted commas because truly blocks are just illusions as well. But we have to have awareness around our illusions if we are to transform and transmute them. So some of us, especially if you're a healer, if you're a light worker, and I'd say if you're watching this video, you are all these things. A teacher, a giver, an earth angel. Whether you identify as crystal, indigo, blue ray, the rainbow child, it really doesn't matter anymore. They're just labels, and they do help us. They have helped us up to a certain point. Now it's moving into the rays, and I'm going to be doing extensive videos on that because I really feel like nobody else is talking about this, and I want to share what I've been given. I was shown during the summer about the new energy frequencies coming in and the new souls coming in. But back to the present of where we are right now. So some of you may be feeling almost like a walk-in, where there's a new soul coming in, or you feel very different. You look in the mirror, you don't recognize yourself. You feel like, I don't know who I am anymore. The things that used to interest me don't do it anymore. I'm not excited about the things that used to excite me. My lifestyle is shifting, the way I do things, the way I look, the way I dress, the way I see myself or don't see myself. A lot of people are saying they look in the mirror and they do not recognize who is there anymore. I went through this a few years ago, and again, as a spiritual teacher, that often happens so that we can be prepared to prep and support people in the future as they go through it. What I will say to you is, it's not necessarily that you've shifted souls or you've had a complete soul walk in. But what I do feel is truly happening is more of our soul. So it's like expanded parts of the master soul is pouring into us right now. And this is quite discombobulating. It makes us feel strange, weird, like we're feeling this new frequency come in and we can't necessarily, it's unfamiliar from a human dense perspective. So this might explain why some of you are feeling very out of sorts or strange, or like you're just not, you don't recognize the ground underneath your feet. It can be that this upshift into this new world is requiring an expansion of the fullness of the monad, of the soul energy. So this is coming in so that you have more support, more joy, and you are more connected to your soul's truth. This moment in time, as we wrap up, as we're coming into like late October. This is all about the truth. It's about the myths of self-sabotage, of how we've blocked ourselves from expanding or from moving into opportunities because we had these myths of being smaller or lesser than we truly are. We bought into the 3D program that we are not enough. And this resurgence of the soul energy expanding, or what can feel like a walk-in, or for some people it might actually be a walk-in. I'm hearing some people will actually, their soul is so exhausted and tired and beaten down by the 3D life up till now, they're like, you know what, I want to tap out. And as they go, they'll send, instead of ending the physical coil, the body, they'll actually send in a whole new soul energy. Other of us, which is probably the majority watching this video right now, it's that we have expanded so much. We have done so much work on our crystalline diamond body aura energy field that we are now able to receive more. We're now able to receive a heightened, more enlightened soul energy that's coming in to greatly assist us. I am excited for next year because it's a year unlike anything that you or I or anyone who's walking the earth will ever have experienced before. Is it unfamiliar? Yes. Is that daunting? Yes. Should we be careful to not buy into the fear around that? Absolutely. There's a lot of fear mongering. There's a lot of scary stuff. And if you go down that rabbit hole, it will suck you in. Just be mindful of where you're feeding your attention, because again, you are your reality. It's not two separate things. And if you're focused on worst case scenario, shall we say, you are channeling your beautiful divine light into experiencing that reality. So it's important that we are so discerning, and we are the gatekeepers of our consciousness now. We are the gatekeepers of the thoughts that we allow, that we entertain, and that we allow to come into our consciousness. So we are in the midst of what I'm hearing is an upshift. This is an upshift into the new 5D consciousness. I know it's uncomfortable. I know for some people it's scary. For others it's exciting. Again, it's all the one energy, but it's how you filter that. You're either putting on the fear glasses and seeing it as scary, or you're putting on the excited, joyful glasses and seeing it as something to thrill and excite you. But I would say it's good to be in the middle of that as well, and to keep a balance and say, I'm grounded. I'm not all over the place. I'm not like one extreme or the other polarity. I'm in the middle energy point. I'm in that 0 point of neutral. I'm being grounded right now. excuse me, is so important. Get into nature. I have just been immersing myself with the trees, talking to the trees. I've always talked to the trees. You can sit at the roots of a tree, place your back against the tree, or even hug the tree and listen and talk. The trees are living energies, entities. They are not just some flat object. They have a consciousness. And by the way, they are antenna. They bring their energy up, and they receive what's going on down here, and they're like a telephone, or they're like an antenna, and they go back to source, and they share that with the other realms. So I really feel and trust the information, the downloads I'm getting about community, soul tribes, friendships, which means for some of us, relationships are changing. Friendships, the people that you spend your daily time with, maybe it's the group of colleagues in your workplace, maybe your soul is calling you to live out your soul role and to be more active in a healer type of supportive way to humanity. So you might be leaving a job, you might be going into a new space, but truly this is a shift, an upshift in the people that we spend time with. Because if you are in any way forcing yourself to adapt, or not adapt, actually, that's the wrong word. If you're forcing yourself to fit into a certain clique or crowd or way of being in your world, and it doesn't feel authentic, it's not genuine, it doesn't feel comfortable in a joyful, natural, authentic way, this is where it's going to be either removed from you, which might mean your job comes to an end, or your friend has a row with you and you don't, your friendship breaks down, or it could be that you decide, you know what, I don't fit with this crowd. This group is not jiving with what I know in my heart of hearts is where I'm supposed to be. If that's happening, you're going to feel called in the next, I'd say, week to make big changes. This is definitely a time of endings after this eclipse shadow, and with the endings, when the endings are complete, we make space, we allow an expanded version of ourselves to receive the new beginning. We are on the cusp of new beginnings, but we have some exams. It's like the end of your college. You've done all these years in college, and then you have to do your final exams. It's not that we're being tested, my friend, but the exams is like, what have you learned? Show us what your soul is saying. And this is you talking to you, right? I'm just a mirror of you. This is your soul saying, darling, beloved, what have you learned? And what needs to go now? What are you at peace with and accepting that doesn't fit the version, this 5D version, of expanded version of you now. You are accelerated. So when you close the door, and that Aries full moon was all about closing a door. As you do that, you are opening up to this new community, new friends, soul tribe, soul work, soul role, and moving into those higher frequencies, higher dimensions of reality that better match and sit beautifully with your heart of hearts. If you enjoy this video, if you found this information of benefit to you, helpful, thoughtful, reflective, transformative, please click the like button, show your kindness, show your respect for the work that I do, that I bring here for free, from my heart to yours. I love to help, I love to share. I'm passionate about supporting and being a channel of truth for humanity. Thank you so much to my subscribers, and of course the members of the light. The light in me recognizes the light in you.